Hello and welcome to our dining room table. This is Mistakes Were Made. It's a channel that I created to document my family's progress with debt reduction and eventual elimination. Today we are starting a new pay period and a new month. For those of you who are new, we do our budgeting by pay period, and that essentially turns into a first half of the month, second half of the month time period. Welcome. Those of you who have been following along, welcome back. But let's get started. Oh, I better let you know, I've got a little bit of an unruly kitty who is being a little bit of a nincompoop right now. So there's a chance that we will have some interruptions coming through. But until then, let's look at the numbers. So now let's do a little bit of a zoom. Okay. So for this pay period, we are expecting $14.78 for his pay. Now keep in mind, this is a paycheck where we are doing the PTO reduction, so we will be mitigating that just a little bit. My expected pay is going to be $1,977. So for our miscellaneous income, we will be putting in $83. And that is to bring his pay up to our typical expectation of $15.61. We'd never put anything in Etsy because we don't know what that's going to be. And the expected buffer rollover from the current pay period that we are in, which is the 16th through the 31st of March, is going to be $294. Now some of this stuff is going to be speculative because we have not finished the the previous pay period, so we don't have official hard numbers. That said, we are still going to move forward with kind of what we are expecting to happen. We're far enough in because today it's the 26th that, you know, we've got 5 days. A lot can happen in 5 days, but hopefully everything goes along in the process that we're expecting. And so any changes we could have won't be significant and make huge differences to how our next pay period is affected. So we've added all of these together and we have $37.38.94 for our income for the month. Now our mortgage is $875. Netflix is $15.49. Kindle is $11.99. My car insurance $114.34. And our water bill is going to be $121. And then his car insurance is $204.59. The rest of these we do not pay during this pay period, so we will leave that be. And then we're going to go ahead and add all of these up together. $15.49 plus $11.99, $114.34 plus $121 plus $204.59, which comes to a total expense of $1342.41. And then we'll subtract our income from that, which gives us $2,396.53 left. We do not do anything for the emergency fund during this pay period. We also are not going to put any money in here for the job loss savings because that gets calculated after we've done all of the other math and stuff like that. We are going to indicate at least a $200 buffer. We'll keep the cents blank as well because that will get figured out at the end of this as well, which means we currently only have $200 that we're doing the math on. So if we subtract that from our current budget, our current leftover, we are at $2196.53. Okay. All right, so next we have our cash envelopes. We are not doing anything for AAA or for the birthdays during this pay period. But we do have $100 for car maintenance. Christmas gets $12. Clothing does not get anything. Dining out gets $50. Entertainment gets $50. Yard and garden gets $25. Gas gets $100. Gifts gets $5. We do not do anything for giving. Groceries gets $300 this pay period because it's like a Magic Monday month. So instead of doing $200, it ends up being $300 during this particular pay period. My cat is being a pill and is chewing on boxes, and it's driving me nuts. He's potentially going to get a little bit of a face of some water soon if he's not careful, because he is not supposed to be doing that. The health budget will be $10. Household gets $25. We have backed this back down to $25. We were doing $50. Oops, I am like way off the screen. $50 per pay period last month to help us make a specific goal. And then licenses is $10. We aren't doing anything for pets, nothing for Prime. And then taxes is $20. We don't have anything for one-time spending. So let's do this. 100 plus 12 plus 50 plus 50 plus 25 plus 100 plus 5 plus 300, bless you kitty, plus 10 plus, where am I? 25 plus 10 plus 20. Okay, so our total is $707, and our income right left over is $2196.53. So that gives us 14. Let me pop this up a little bit. $89.53. And just in case you are wondering, I am currently on a break. I spent a little bit of time outside in the garden already. I'm doing this, and then I'm going to eat my lunch, and then I'll be back to work. So, Bank of America. So, the goal, the hope, these budgets, to some extent for me, are a symbol of hope and of progress. So if things go the way we're hoping they will, we will not be budgeting anything for Bank of America for this pay period. The reason being is we are hoping we are going to, sorry, we had a little bit of a cat emergency. Anyway, as I was saying, the expectation or the hope that we have is that we will be in a position to pay the Bank of America bill off by the end of March. So what that, of course, will then mean is we can use the snowball effect and take the $450 that we were paying per month, as well as the $250 that we were paying per month for the loan for my mom, and roll that all together into the next account that's on the list. Now that next account is Citibank. We are choosing to make Citibank the next one, not just because it is the lowest balance that we have, but also because it is one of the banks that we have with a 0% promo, and it is going to expire before the other 0% promo does, which is the Reflect card. So adding everything together, $250 plus $450 ends up being $700 plus the $100 that we were paying before for Citibank. That's $800 total. We're going to break that up into half, so $400 for this pay period. Discover does not get paid during this pay period. Mom loan is paid off, so it is not in effect. We do pay on the Reflect card though, $175. We're going to keep the extra debt payment blank, just like the savings one, because that's going to get calculated at the end. So in total, we are going to have $575. So let's take our total income that is still left over, $1,489.53, and subtract $575, which gets us a leftover amount of $914.53. Now I am budgeting $30 per pay period for myself to use however I want, which is that. So we'll take the $914 and minus 30, which puts us at $884.53. And then these are our longer term goals. They are going to at minimum be paid by the automatic $100 per pay period auto transfer that we have in place between our checking account and one of our savings accounts. That doesn't mean that's the only amount of money that we will allocate towards that, but it is something that's already, kind of in place, and it makes for an easy delineation of how the funds are going to be used. Now we are getting very close to our arbitrary budget of $500 to allot for the gardening season. I am going to anticipate that we'll probably need a little bit more than $500 if we continue with the process, since it is $100 per pay period. We will be almost at $600 total that we will have been contributing. I think I calculated it out to like $581 or something, and that's not including any extras that we might have because of cash envelope, lesser spending of our cash envelopes and doing our savings challenges. So why I'm bringing that up is my thought is if we can keep it at that $600-ish level, then we can look at starting to use this $200 per month for something else on our list starting next month, not April, but May. Okay, so we've got $100 here. The rest of these we kind of ignore for right now. And so if we just take 100 from there, we are at $784.53. Okay, so now comes what I think is kind of the fun part. How are we going to pay out this leftover money? Because we want this to be a zero-based budget. So we're going to take $784.53 and we're going to take 75% because debt gets 75%, savings gets 25%. So 25% of $784.53 is $196. We're not doing the cents. So we'll just take $784 and subtract $196. And then that equals $588 going to debt. Now, I've explained this in a few other videos. Instead of just taking this full amount and putting it to one of the next debt on the list, which is the Citi card, I'm doing the rounded number method that I was doing before when we were putting things only into savings, being that the end number will end in a 0, 25, 50, or 75. So in this case, with it being 588, we are going to actually split this out again. One section will get $575 and the other will get $13. So of course for this, that means Citi is going to get the bulk and then Discover will get the leftover. And the reason why I'm putting these leftover amounts in Discover is because that is the only card that we have that actually has interest that's getting accrued and applied on it. So every little bit helps. It's not going to move the needle a ton, but it helps to combat the cost of the interest at least just a little bit, so we can make even that much more of a little bit of progress on there, even though our focus does need to be on our 0% accounts because they do have deadlines for their promos. But yeah, there we are. That is what we are going to be doing. So to finish this up, we are going to come back over here, and in the savings section, we are going to put our $196. The leftover was 53 cents after we did our calculations. So our buffer is now $200.53. And then over here for the extra debt payment, we are going to do $575. How interesting. Or not $575, $585. I was going to say, hi, goodness, it's not even $585, it's $588. I need to do something about my brain. I was going to say, though, I was like, oh, wow, we're essentially doubling our payment, which we still are overall for what we're paying into the debt arena. So we are going to put, of that $588, $575 is going to go here, and $13 is going to go there. So there we go. That is our budget. It looks doable, it looks clean. Hopefully everything works out as we are expecting. We have, of course, tried to be flexible in understanding that, you know, things happen that you can't necessarily prepare for, but there are a lot of things that we have come to learn that you can try to prepare for, or even if it's not a very specific preparation, some more generic, having, you know, an emergency fund, having cash envelopes that might fit a multitude of situations, you know, that sort of thing. So this has been a fun learning process, and I really think that we have come quite a long way. And along those lines, we will be doing our budget recap for March, second pay period of March, see how well we stuck to that particular budget, and any changes or surprises that came up for that. We will also have a cash stuffing video. My nails are so dirty because I've been digging in the garden, and you know, you try and scrub them before you do stuff, and I'm not a girly girl, so I don't tend to have, you know, the nice pretty nails, but yeah, I apologize. These are what my hands are going to be looking like for at least until September. But anyway, like I was saying, we'll be doing our budget recap for the pay period we're in right now. We will also have a cash stuffing for the new pay period, and some point after that, I think, is when we are going to do kind of a debt confession update, because once we get through March, that will be 6 months that we have been doing this process. We started in October, at the beginning of October, so that'll be a full 6 months, and we can kind of take a look and see, you know, here's where we started, here's what our debt looks like now, what did we learn, what did we find that was easy to do, what did we find that was difficult, what do we think had the most impact, what things do we find weren't as helpful or impactful. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. I was also thinking about maybe putting a community post up just to see if there's anything in particular that you guys would like to know about what we've done the last 6 months. I feel a little bit weird about that because, I mean, we're not special, so it's not like we're we're celebrities and people are going to be shouting questions to us on the red carpet or something. But, you know, if we can be helpful because of what our situation is and how it may relate to other people, then I would like to, you know, take that opportunity to give back, because this community, the budgeting community, has been quite the lifeline for us. When we came into this, we were really, I don't know, deer in headlights, because the situation with my job was not at all expected. Not at all expected. And we were 1000% unprepared. So, you know, if there's things that people have questions on and are curious, you know, how we did decision making on a certain thing, I would like to be able to address that. So let me know what you think, if that would be useful to collate questions or thoughts or things that people are curious about, or if it's not really something of interest. In either way, you know, we'll be definitely going over the numbers and seeing a then and now kind of comparison. So yeah, alrighty, well, let's zoom out just a smidge. That is our budget. We will be using this same sheet when we come back to do our recap for the first pay period of April in a couple of weeks. And yeah, that's where we are. So once again, I want to thank everybody who has watched our videos, who have liked them, and of course who have subscribed. I was just looking and we were like at 620 subscribers. That is amazing. It's really more than I absolutely expected when I started this. So I really appreciate it, because the encouragement has been incredibly helpful. I don't know that I can articulate how helpful the encouragement has been. Like I said before, this was not a situation that we were ever expecting ourselves to be in, and it was not a situation we were prepared for. So we have taken quite a bit from this community and made it work for us, and it's gotten us to a place where I wouldn't necessarily say we feel comfortable about what's happening, but we certainly feel much more prepared. So just want to thank you all for that, and we'll see you in the next one.